and welcome to the KinStartUpKit presentation. This kit and presentation is brought to you by the Canadian Kinesiology Alliance, the voice of kinesiologists across Canada, and the Provincial Kinesiology Associations. So my name is Julie Johnson, and I am a practicing kinesiologist in British Columbia and the coordinator for the KinStartUpKit program at the CKA. Thank you for your interest in kinesiology in Canada, and mostly thank you for connecting with the CKA to be better informed before embarking on your career or continuing with your studies. Before we get started, we'd like to note that the information made available through this website and in this presentation may differ from one province to another. The primary purpose of this website and presentation is to provide kinesiologists information, examples of resources, tools, materials, definitions, job titles, scope of practice, etc. As kinesiology is provincially legislated, all of these may differ from one province to another. The CKA is not responsible for consequences and damages that may occur as an outcome of its use or misuse, incomplete use, or misadaptation, or its interpretation. It is to be stressed that the aim is to guide kins, and if anyone has any difficulty over interpretation, to seek independent advice. So what is the KinStartUpKit? The KinStartUpKit is a website tool that's been developed for kins across Canada by the CKA. The goal is to equip students, new grads, and active kinesiologists across Canada by providing a one-stop shop of updated information as they continue with their studies or transition into practice. Throughout this presentation, I will show you how to access and utilize the KinStartUpKit platform and how to get started as a kin. We'll also cover who the CKA is and what we do for our affiliated kinesiologists, including the professional resources that are available to all of our affiliated kinesiologists. We'll introduce our provincial associations and talk about the opportunities available to you through our partnerships. The website kinstartupkit.ca has been broken down into 6 main pillars of knowledge, with commonalities that aim to answer questions and guide you in your profession after university, or assist you as you grow your career as a practicing kinesiologist. In each pillar, there is information in subsequent submenus that you can explore and that will answer questions you may have. So in our presentation today, we will briefly cover each of the 6 pillars of information, as well as what you can find in each section. So let's dive into the first pillar, who's who. In this section, we outline how kinesiology is represented across Canada, from a national level at the CKA to a provincial level at the various PKAs and everything in between. Did you know in Canada, there's over 6,000 practicing kinesiologists, of which 4,300 are members of their provincial professional associations, namely the 10 provincial kinesiology associations, referred to as PKAs, and therefore also members of the Canadian Kinesiology Alliance. The CKA is a non-profit organization representing the 10 provincial kinesiology associations that are member associations. The CKA works with a broad group of stakeholders that include industry, government, and other health professional association groups. The CKA acts to unify and harmonize the governance and standards for kinesiology within Canada. We work together across Canada with the BCAK, AKA, MKA, OKA, FKQ, NBKA, KANS, NLKA, KPEI. We are excited to welcome Saskatchewan's Provincial Association, KAS, for the 2022 membership year. For all provinces, we encourage you to get to know your provincial association, as they will be a reliable resource throughout your career. Kinesiology, as any health profession, is legislated provincially, which means that each province governs the practice of kinesiology a little bit differently from the other provinces across Canada, because of different existing laws, rules, and regulations linked to professional orders and their interpretations. So being a member of your provincial association becomes really important in your career in kinesiology because they are your hub of information to understanding all these differences. Student memberships are available right now through your PKA's website, free of charge for most PKAs. So get connected to your professional association right now today. As you can see on the slide, there are several different types of titles for kinesiologists across Canada. These titles vary by province. For example, in Alberta, a professional kinesiologist is who you would see for kinesiology treatments, versus in New Brunswick, you would see a certified kinesiologist. A kinesiologist in any province can also become an affiliated kinesiologist by obtaining a membership with your provincial association. It is not uncommon for kins across Canada to have questions about how other professionals such as exercise physiologists, and their associations, such as CSAP or CATA, are similar or different from kinesiologists. These types of questions can lead to confusion for the professional, that's you, and potentially for your clients. The CKA has worked hard to provide clear and accurate information in this section about the differences between professionals, appropriate insurance coverage, and continuously evolving updates in legislation. For example, do you know the answer to these key questions? How do you differentiate CATA and CSAP from the CKA and the PKAs? How do the CKA and CSAP insurance coverage options compare? What is the difference in professional liability insurance? As a CKA kinesiologist, can I work with the same clientele as a CSAP exercise physiologist? So if you don't know the answers to these questions, don't worry. The KinStartUpKit has the resources you need to answer them, and we'll go over them in the presentation. At the end of the day, the CKA is here to assist you in finding the answers to any questions specific to your province and practice. The second pillar of the KinStartUpKit is the structure of the profession. So this section helps kins across Canada to obtain valuable information that is specific to your practice, guides you to your provincial legislation that applies to where your practice exists in Canada, and provides an overview of the Code of Ethics and Scope of Practice, and outlines how and why you should obtain a membership with your PKA and the CKA. The scope of practice is the same across Canada, but its application and interpretation may be different from one province to another. You can find the legal definition on the KinStartUpKit website or the CKA website, but it's important to note that the scope of practice is defined broadly and includes many fields of study for which no specialty is recognized in any legislation. So kinesiology is a profession with many fields of study or practice that are not specializations, because that's not permitted by the laws, but we refer to a field of study, practice, or expertise. All this really means is that when you complete your bachelor's degree, you can perform acts related to the various fields in the kinesiology curriculum. Although specialties are not available professionally to kins, there are additional certifications that can be obtained. For example, CSAP is one of the certifications that falls under our field of study, and that is just one example. It's just important to recognize the difference between these types of certification versus kinesiology itself as a profession. So did you know that to practice, if you want to practice kinesiology in more than one province, you must obtain a membership with each PKA respectively. In any province, you need professional liability insurance. In Ontario, you must be a member of the college. In BC, if you want to have clients referred to you by ICBC, you must be a member of the BCAK. And if you were to provide services virtually or online, you must comply with how the scope is applied in the province of the client. Online services do not erase provincial borders. So why should you join your Provincial Kinesiology Association and the CKA? And how do you join? So the PKAs provide a simple route for you to obtain your professional liability insurance, which is mandatory for your practice. The CKA has partnered with ProLink to get the most comprehensive insurance coverage that covers the scope of kinesiology at the lowest rate for all kins across Canada. So once you're a member of your PKA and the CKA, resources and promotional material will be sent directly to your inbox once you've completed your membership with your PKA and therefore the CKA. When kinesiology becomes legislated in a province, it is the college or professional order that will manage its application to the public. But how about the kins? This is another good reason to be a member of your PKA, because they are the ones that protect and advocate on behalf of kins. All kinesiologists are responsible to uphold the Code of Ethics provided to them by their provincial association. Provincial associations, in collaboration with the CKA, provide specific professional advocacy. What does that mean? It means the advancement of the profession is pursued by each PKA and the CKA and advocated for at the government level. All these points are based on the basic requirement for a profession to be recognized and thus legislated. Lawmakers look up to these to see how seriously our profession is structured to accept legislation of kinesiology within a province. So depending on the province in which you practice or intend to practice in as a kinesiologist will dictate how you join. For example, if you are from BC, Alberta, Ontario, or Quebec, you will visit their site to sign up, and then you will automatically become a CKA-affiliated kinesiologist with your approved PKA application, mandatory purchase of provincial insurance, and any associated affiliation fees. If you are from Manitoba, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, PEI, Newfoundland, Labrador, or Saskatchewan in the territories, you'll join your PKA via the CKA website directly. Starting in January 2023, there will be a mandatory national entry exam to obtain membership with all PKAs across Canada. Please note this date is to be confirmed as the implementation process is still proceeding. To become a member in any province, excluding Ontario and Quebec, who already have mandatory entry to practice exams, you are required to register for the National Entry to Profession exam with the CKA and submit supporting documents to validate your application, such as copy of transcripts and degree. Once an applicant has successfully passed the exam, you'll have 1 fiscal year to apply to become a member of your PKA in the same fashion as previous years. All KINs must also keep current by completing continuing education standards monitored by the CKA, your PKA, or the college in Ontario. For the CKA, this is 60 credits over 3 years. It's fairly easy, but it's mostly important because this program ensures the quality and competency of practicing kinesiologists in each province. In summary, to become a member of your PKA and therefore the CKA, you'll register and pass the entry exam, whether that's national or the provincial equivalent when that is released. You'll apply to be a member of your PKA, you'll purchase your mandatory annual insurance, you'll obtain your continuing education credits throughout the working year, and you'll reap the partnership benefits. In the third pillar, we address if you should begin your practice or continue on to more studies. For new grads and practicing KINs alike, in a young profession like kinesiology, information is always changing. So if you're considering looking for a new job opportunity, advancing your education or research, making the move into a new field or industry that KINs commonly work in, the work or postgraduate section has the answers you're looking for. It's not always easy to know what all the options available to you are, especially when you are new to the profession. In addition, many people still do not know what a kinesiologist does, what kind of training they have, or what they're professionally capable of. In educating yourself about the opportunities available to you, you will be able to define yourself as a professional, create opportunities for yourself in the workforce, and subsequently expand and strengthen the profession of kinesiology in your community. I would now like to share with you one of the wonderful videos that the CKA has to offer you for your clients on social media platforms. This video has been made by the BCAK. In addition to this video, there are several other campaigns with videos and photos for sharing and educating that are prepared with you in mind.
What's rewarding about being a kinesiologist is the lifelong relationships that you make with people. When you get to see people grow and be more confident and start to really love life again, there's no better feeling than that. So there's key areas that kinesiologists can work in. For injury assessment, we help our clients return to pre-injury quality of life through specific stretches and exercises that help reduce pain and improve function. Disability management is about supporting employees' health and safety while at work. This could include things like functional capacity evaluations, return to work, safe moving and lifting techniques, all with the purpose of helping to either overcome or reduce injury. Exercise prescription is aimed at helping clients manage health issues such as diabetes, stroke, or even brain injury. The health and fitness side is great for people who maybe want to learn how to work out, just want to look and feel better, even move into certain type of sports like skiing. So finally, we've got ergonomics, and this is where we look at the interface between the person and the environment. And the goal of ergonomics is to be able to provide guidance and support the physical demands in a safe and effective way. There's not really a typical day in the life of a kinesiologist. You can find us working in settings like clinics, one-on-one, in teams, independently, in studios. But despite where we're working, we're always using the education that we gained in school. So anatomy, biomechanics, the human factors, and combine that with soft skills like leadership, collaboration, and coaching, all with the goal of helping our clients improve the quality of their life. The great thing about this profession is it's growing and changing so rapidly. We've got more recognition from other healthcare professions and the government. It continues to open more doors for kinesiologists to have a positive impact on the health of Canadians. At the end of the day, kinesiology is about people. It's about the ability to listen and respect who they are and what they need.
Too many KINs are pressured to continue on with their studies because they have not objectively evaluated all of their options or they just don't know about them. Kinesiologists across Canada have limitless options in terms of where they want to work and what they want their job to look like. Kinesiologists work as consultants, they're found in clinics, they work as case managers, administrative roles, and so many more different positions. Earlier, we saw the different titles used to name a kinesiologist, and that it was different from one province to another. For example, only Kins in Ontario can use registered kinesiologist. So if you're looking for a job, try answering these questions. What population do you want to work in? What type of environment do you want to work in? What is your overall career goal? Other successful suggestions are to look for titles other than kinesiologist or job descriptions with some of the words that are highlighted on the slide. It might also be beneficial to include different work environments, such as municipalities, research organizations, private or public education institutions, within your job search. If you're wondering what salary you should ask for, what other income stats are important, all of this can be found under this pillar of the KinStartUpKit. So all of the information in the presentation so far has been how and why to become a kinesiologist, but what is it actually like to have a career as a kinesiologist, and what will be required of you? So this question is hard to answer because kinesiologists across Canada have limitless options in terms of where they want to work and what they want their job to look like. For example, if you work in a private clinical setting, you will likely work one-to-one with clients. You'll be required to complete a thorough assessment of your client's movement patterns, baseline strength, range of motion, to establish appropriate goals with your client. By completing an assessment that's appropriate to your client's needs, you'll design an individualized program that is safe and effective using your knowledge from university. This can include, but is not limited to, elements of core strengthening, functional training, cardiovascular endurance, postural education, injury rehabilitation, motivational interviewing, and so on. Upon subsequent visits, you'll continuously reassess your client and your program. You'll potentially collaborate with other health professionals contributing to your client's care, and you'll make any necessary changes to help keep your client on track to achieving their goals and restoring their quality of life. The CKA is excited to announce two brand new initiatives. The first is the Kinesiology Foundation, which will be a national charitable organization that is dedicated to advancing and supporting value-based and principle-driven kinesiology initiatives and research throughout Canada. The foundation is being implemented this time and is not yet operational. It will leverage the kinesiology community knowledge to foster and support action towards enhancing the understanding, the development, and the implementation of kinesiology initiatives, all forms of physical activity that contribute to improving the quality of life, physical fitness, mental well-being, and social interactions of Canadians through movement. The funds collected will be dispersed to many kinesiology-related projects, such as research projects, student scholarships, kinesiology initiatives, so videos, education modules, and so on. There's more to come on this project soon. The second exciting initiative that we launched this year was the Kin Case Competition. As it was the first year, we had 4 teams take on a single case challenge live at the KinCan conference to give students, professors, and academia a chance to see what it's all about, what the commitment entails, and what to expect before you register next year. Moving forward, the competition will expand to include 24 teams comprised of 3rd and 4th year kinesiology students participating in a week-long event. The competition offers participants great opportunities to win some money, work, present and defend challenging cases, all while meeting new people, networking with practicing kinesiologists, academia and researchers, and prominent business people who attend the competition as judges or sponsors. So more information on registration for this event will be available in the early fall 2022 term. If and or when you do begin your practice, you'll need some resources and want to visit the 4th pillar of information. So the Resources, Tools, and Materials section provides resources such as forms and promotional material that you can use in your practice. The Forms section includes templates for consent, intake, screening forms, and so on that you can download and adapt to your practice. There is a multitude of promotional material provided by the CKA, such as fillable business card templates, Kin logos, Kin badges, and multiple templates for cards for clients to celebrate milestones or engage with them at a national-based event level. There is promotional material that you can fill in with your business details to help with the delivery of your services and promote yourself within your community. If you're not sure which client management system is available to you as a kinesiologist, start a 1-month free demo with HexFit or investigate programs to create personalized exercise programs for your clients and patients. HexFit is a tracking software for kinesiologists, and this software was developed by kinesiologists who truly understand the profession. HexFit includes a wide variety of features that help you in your day-to-day tasks, as well as customer management, support, and care. For many healthcare professionals, the question of owning their own business typically comes up at least once in your career. So if this path of entrepreneurship interests you, the Self-Employed or Start a Business section of the KinStartUpKit has been designed with you in mind. Have you been a self-employed kin or a business owner for a while already? Have you thought about becoming incorporated, being an employee, or an independent contractor? Do you have a business ID number? Do you also know if this is your HST or your GST number? Do you need one? So in this pillar, you will find constructive information and resources available to you, such as steps to help you successfully launch a business, as well as tips to increasing your clients for new and existing businesses, and information to help you get started is all available here. As there is a lot of information out there, it's important to know your sources and who you can trust. For example, there are many Facebook groups that connect kids, which is fantastic, but within those groups, there's often posts that may include misleading information. An example would be an exam prep course that's offered by a student or a guide to getting your movement practice started. These resources are independent from the PKAs and the CKA and therefore has no actual input from the legal bodies of our profession who administer the exams and make changes at the government level. The last but equally important pillar I want to cover is the science of kinesiology. Continuing education and the advancement of your career and knowledge as a kinesiologist is imperative to your success with your clients and patients. This section of the KinStartUpKit gives you easy access to research articles as well as informative videos. So if you're a researcher or you're looking to publish your work, the CKA is building a hub of information for submitted works to be published to. So did you know that in some provinces, such as Newfoundland and Labrador, you need to submit the continuing education activities you do to your CKA profile every 3 years to maintain good standing status? If you aren't sure what to do for these credits, the CKA provides a detailed list of the activities that count for credit on our main website. On this list, you can find that you can earn credits for publication and research. We also have different opportunities for you to publish your work, get to be known within the community. So why not start here, advance your knowledge, expand your abilities, and grow the foundation for information for all CKA kins. As we near the end of this presentation, I want to share a video with you from the clients of kinesiologists.
I can't sit in the car for long periods of time. I can't even sit through a movie.
I was just projectiled across the intersection.
I'd be paddleboarding and I'd feel this pain in my back.
An industrial worksite injuries, when they do happen, they can be severe.
Shoveling continuously throughout the day, I just noticed a sharp pain in my lower back.
When you have lower back pain, it's actually crazy how much that influences other parts of your life.
I would be worried about climbing upstairs, lifting something.
It was actually a dual diagnosis of type 2 diabetes with hypothyroidism. Your brain, I think, sort of does go into a dead zone. My doctor suggested that I work with a kinesiologist.
First, the kinesiologist did an assessment on how I sat.
It's helped to just, rebalance the issues I've had with my hip.
I was able to paddle longer, my mobility came back.
It keeps our workers at work, and if something goes wrong, it gets them back to work faster.
I could have been out of work for an indefinite amount of time.
And my life has been getting back to normal ever since.
It makes such a big difference to be able to sit there and not feel pain when you're working.
I actually finished my 10K.
I always thought that my pain wouldn't go away, and it's completely gone.
I'm back to lifting weight. I couldn't even lift a weight. It's a relationship that goes beyond simply the sort of prescription of going to exercise classes.
Now I've got my coworkers asking me about kinesiology.
If you're feeling pain, I can't recommend seeing a kinesiologist enough.
I wish I would have gone to a kinesiologist earlier. I just left it.
Because it will actually change your life. Yes. Yeah.
So before we wrap up the presentation, I also want to cover one of the highlight events of the year, National Kinesiology Week and the KinCan Conference. National Kin Week hosts various events virtually across Canada, bringing kinesiologists together to celebrate all things kin. The KinCan Conference is an annual virtual conference where esteemed speakers speak to kinesiologists across the country about a variety of topics that enlighten and embolden kins in their practices. Next fall, students can attend for only $20 and get access to all the workshops as well as a virtual trade show, live Q&A with presenters at the top of their fields, and professional networking. And of course, the case competition we introduced earlier in the presentation. Each year, the Canadian Kinesiology Awards, which are awarded at the KinCan Conference for outstanding achievement in Canada's kinesiology industry. The CKA is pleased to recognize Canadian professionals for their achievements, a recognition of the symbol of excellence, as well as a powerful launching pad for careers, kinesiology clinics, and universities looking to establish themselves in a competitive marketplace. Awards for Kin of the Year, Eventer Initiative of the Year, Researcher of the Year, Best Speaker of the Conference, and the Kin Case competition winners are awarded to kinesiologists that are nominated and selected from across Canada. So this wraps up our presentation today. We'd like to thank our partners for their continued commitment and support of kinesiology across Canada and kinesiologists in their practices. We'd also like to thank you for joining us today and encourage you to reach out to us at coordinator@cka.ca with any specific questions you might have, as well as visit our websites, KinStartUpKit.ca and thecka.ca, to learn more about kinesiology across Canada and how you can be at the top of your game as a kin.